Hello, everybody. Welcome to Bluebird and Bee Tarot. I'm very excited that you have tuned in today so we can find out, what does Spirit need you to know right now? What is an urgent message that Spirit needs you to know right now? And yeah, so we have these little cards that I got from Intuit Tarot on Etsy. I'll go through all the decks that I used at the end. It's time-stamped below. But these cards all have different questions on them, like, how can I make this a truly wonderful day? What is working when it comes to manifesting abundance in my life? Just all kinds of different questions like that. So each reading is literally going to be a different question. We're going to deal out what the question is at the beginning. So this, even more than other readings, is one where if you feel drawn to more than one of the piles, you definitely can listen to more than one, if not all of them, because each one is going to be a different thing that Spirit needs you to know right now. So let's go through the choices. So pile 1 is the Sun. These are all from the deck that we're going to be using today, the Tarot deck, which is the Seeds of Magic Tarot. Pile 2 is Strength. Okay, and then pile 3 is Liberation, which is what they call Judgment in this deck. Okay, so I'm going to give you a moment to pick your piles. And you can always pause the video and just meditate on it and see which pile you're most drawn to. Yeah, as I said, it's absolutely okay to be drawn to more than one. Timestamps are down below, and I will see you at your pile. Hello, pile 1. If you chose the Sun card, then you have arrived at your reading. Let's find out, what is it that Spirit, what question is important that Spirit wants to answer for you? Okay. What subconscious fear is affecting my behavior or actions right now? Okay, so let's tap in. Spirit, tap me into pile 1 and what subconscious fear is affecting their behavior or actions right now. Okay, pile 1. I think that your subconscious fear, I think that you are constantly on the lookout for stability, for a happy home life, for a settled, safe, comforting situation in your life where people respect you and take care of you the way that you take care of them, where you feel like you can trust people. I feel like you are, I feel like you are really working to create a life where you are not always waiting for the other shoe to drop, but you are not there yet. Yeah, with this intuition card, it's got a rabbit kind of jumping on it. And when I was a little kid, my aunt would always say to my sister and I, okay, quick, go quick like a bunny, quick like a bunny, like if she wanted us to get our coats on or something. And I think that that is how you jump from situation to situation. I think that this can be in your career space, in your friends and family space, definitely in your romance and home life space. I think the minute you start to get that feeling that, I think this person is going to betray me. I think that there's something hidden going on here. I think that, this situation is out of balance. It's not in harmony. That's even a phrase. I think you rabbit. I think you run. Yeah, and I think because the fear is that they are going to abandon you. I think that that is the subconscious fear. I think that this blessing, gifts, harmony, a home, a stable home, people who are committed to you, who will fight for you, that's your dream. And I think that you are chasing that. And I think that you desire that so deeply. I almost feel sick to my stomach right now. I think you want that so badly, it hurts you inside. I think the biggest subconscious fear that you have, though, is that it's never going to happen because you are simply not worth it. And that is a lie. Yeah, that is honestly just a lie. That your fear is telling you, fear is a liar. And right now, fear is telling you no one will ever be as committed to you as you are to them. Because I think, pile one, that you are a person who, this is interesting because I think that you are a person that will give up everything for someone. I think that you're a real, if I've got it, we've got it kind of person. I think that you will give someone the shirt off your back. And so I think that it's very shocking to people, and probably very shocking even to you, when you just leave situations very quickly, like this rabbit. Because I think that there have probably been times in the past that other people have abandoned this person, but you have stuck, you have stayed. But I think you are sensitive to even the tiniest amount of betrayal, because it's like you're constantly in this cycle, this mental cycle of, I don't know if you heard, if it picked it up on the microphone, but my dog just jangle her collar. So I think that whatever it was I was just talking about, ADHD, I don't quite remember, the collar distracted me, but it was right on, because that's what I take that as a validation of. Right. Okay. So you're in this constant cycle of thinking somebody's going to be, I think, and I think that you're constantly searching. I think you're looking. I think you're like a private detective of energy, trying to see when they're treating you weird, or when they're having a quiet phone conversation. You're like, they're talking about me. What don't they want me to hear? You might even be one of those people who sort of looks through somebody's phone, just hoping you won't find something, but expecting that you will. And I feel like from a manifestation standpoint, this is drawing in those situations to you, because you might be sitting there and saying, but people do keep betraying me. So it's not like those fears are unfounded. Oh my God. My dog always waits until I start reading to go get into the trash and get something out, because she knows unless it's really noisy, I'm not going to notice. But she played herself because she chose something really noisy. Pepper. Thank you. Oh, she's mad at me right now. Yeah, she did not think that I was going to notice that. Yeah, this might be sort of a metaphor for how you kind of play out relationships in your mind, that you think people are trying to get away with something, and so, then they do, but they do it a little too noisily, and so you figure it out. Oh, she's being bad. She took the thing and just went behind furniture with it. Oh my God. Okay, sorry. I'm going to have to pause this and come back and go get that away from her because that's going to bother me, that crinkling. Okay, sorry about that, pile one. So at any rate, yes, I think that you are partially drawing this behavior into you where people, do fall short of expectations. But I do think that partially you are, maybe even a little too sensitive to behavior that is ultimately benign. I think it's a combination of the two things. And I do think that that comes from, a history of real betrayal. And I'm sorry that you have gone through that, but you deserve better. I mean, you deserved far better for your past, of course, but the past is done. You definitely deserve better for your future. So let's find out. Spirit, what can pile one do to improve this scenario? What can pile one do to improve their life where this is concerned? Yep, holding it upside down. Okay, so start on a new journey. Yeah, the Seed is the Fool card in this deck. And I like the imagery of the seed because it holds within it the idea that, it takes a while to come to fruition. It requires nurturing. It requires work. It requires consistent effort. Yeah, with the Six of Swords, you are meant to, well, it's Six of Arrows in this deck, but yeah, you are definitely meant for better things than this. Yeah, I would encourage you. Yeah, I would encourage you to really maybe get some affirmations together that really resonate. With the Page of Wands, the page is the communicator of the court cards. So I think that is kind of the key to it, communicating with yourself and with enthusiasm. Like, say it again, but with enthusiasm. Get some, because a lot of times it's very difficult when you have a somewhat lacking self-image to just start saying things like, I am amazing. I am beautiful. I am so worthy. Like, that stuff doesn't ring true at first. So a friend of mine actually gave me an idea or a tip that really worked for me before I was able to level up to just more general affirmations, which was to pick, 7 things. And if you can't even think of 7 things, I mean, there are 7 amazing things about you, pile one, but if you can't think of 7 things, pick 1, pick 2 things that are truly awesome about you. And then get some affirmations together that are about those things so that you work on deepening and solidifying your self-concept in ways that you already know are true. There's a lot less resistance there. And then that will start raising your overall deep inside opinion of yourself. And then you can move on to, other affirmations that are more overarching, like I am worthy of good things, which is true, but you might have some mental resistance to it as it stands right now. Yeah, so this is really, I love that this card is called Balance, because this really is about balance. Your energy is out of balance right now. You have an expectation that people are going to ultimately betray you. And I feel like this goes beyond just romantic relationships, although I'm sure It raises its ugly head in romantic relationships very distinctly. But I think that this also probably really makes itself known in career or business relationships. But yeah, this is about communicating, leaving behind this old expectation of betrayal or getting screwed over. Or I think it might be not being chosen as well. Maybe even if there's no aspect of betrayal or getting screwed over, it's just, well, they're always going to choose someone else. I'm never going to be the one. I'm never going to be that special that I'm the one they choose out of all others. And I think you need to convince yourself otherwise. It might not be affirmations. It might be journaling. It might be meditation. But I think it needs to be something. It might be listening to subliminals. Look at this girl on the Page of Wands card. Do you think she has any doubt that she deserves to be chosen in basically any contest that she enters? Of course not. Because you can see that she knows her own magic. And I think that is the balance that you need to arrive at. I think that this also has a lot to do with looking for external validation versus internal. Look how her chakras are aligned on this balance card. I think that is something that is really important, because if you are truly aligned within yourself, if you know your own worth, then you're not looking for external validation to tell you that you are worthy. But the ironic thing is that is when you start getting it. That is when people do actually start just showering you with external validation, because in like a way that the world works and the universe works that seems extremely counterintuitive, and yet it is how it works. When you don't need validation is when you are showered with it. And if you think about it, it is kind of that principle of the universe that kind of makes it make sense if you think about it this way. It's the same reason we don't go to the grocery store hungry, because we'll buy all the food, just all the food. So yeah, Spirit knows we can't handle that validation when we're in that state of needing it so much, because we won't consume it in a healthy way. When we don't need it, when we're satiated within ourselves, that's when we can handle it. And so that's, when Spirit lets us go to the grocery store of validation. And yeah, the last card here is the Eight of Wands. So when you achieve that sense of balance within yourself, when you know your own worth, when you don't need outside validation, but yet you know that you are worthy of it, that is when your situation will change, and it will change quite quickly. Yeah, I want to get some energies that Spirit wants you to particularly focus on when it comes to like really cultivating that sense of your own worth. I am supported. Yeah, that is the very thing I think that you do not believe deep down. And I think that with this I am supported, I think supported is an interesting way to put it, because I do think that you are leaning on these external people for actual support, like actual not falling over support, which is why Spirit took pains to point out that what you need to achieve is balance. When you have the balance where you not only can stand on your own without support, but you can freaking stand on one leg without support and look up at the sky with your hands, your palms pressed together without support, that is ironically when everyone will rush to provide you with support. That's when you can handle it, because that's when you don't need it. I am connected. Yeah, that's the other thing. I think that you don't believe that anyone truly values you deep down. I think that you believe that people will always value someone else, that people will never choose you as the one person that they want to connect with. Yeah, again, I don't think that that is objective truth, but I think that because that is your deep down belief, those are the situations that you are attracting into your life. And then I am sacred. Yes, 100%. I even pointed out on this balance card how all of her chakras were just aglow. You need to view yourself through spirit's eyes. You need to view yourself as so precious. So precious. And again, you may not be at the place, like you may actually feel like a physical recoiling from saying the words, I am precious, or from me telling you, you are precious. Like you may really not be at the place where you believe that yet, but that's what you need to work toward. It's a process. Just like with the seed, you need to water that seed. You need to check the soil pH, or I'm clearly not a plant person. All the plant things. You need to do all the plant things to, just work up to that point where at one point you will be balanced on one leg going, dang it, I am sacred. I truly believe that about myself. Today is the day that I broke through, and I really believe it. Okay, what else, Spirit? Look within. Yeah, exactly. I think that you are looking to outside forces for validation, looking for other people, for third parties to tell you, you are valuable. I choose you. I'm going to be here for you. You need to know that Spirit is there for you and you are there for yourself. And those won't always be the only two people that are there for you, but that's the foundation. You need to be strong in that, or you can never depend on the rest of it. Yeah, and with Shine Bright, I feel like that is very connected to I am sacred. That is very, it's also like these, all the chakras glowing, shining. You need to see within how brightly you shine, because I feel like you are so tenderhearted, pile one. I feel like that's why you get hurt so easily, is because you are so tenderhearted. And I almost look at you as like a rescue puppy who just wants someone to love them so bad, but you've been just kicked so many times. I feel like you've got some work to do to value yourself, and then you will attract into your life people that also value you. Yeah, time to set boundaries. Yeah, it might be time to go kind of hermit mode for a little bit. Like, get yourself solid and balanced before you start involving other people in this. Stand your ground. Yeah, you also might be ignoring red flags because when you are faced with the evidence of someone treating you badly, you feel that urge to rabbit, and there are situations you don't want to have to do that, so you're ignoring red flags. That's also not a healthy coping mechanism. Yes, connect to the divine, find the magic within. Absolutely. Shine. I love that Find the Magic Within came out right on top of Shine Bright and I Am Sacred. I mean, I feel like Spirit is giving you such a distinct and clear message about your value and your worth Like, I mean, I almost feel like that could not be more clear. But you gotta, it doesn't matter what I say to you, pile one. It doesn't matter what spirit says to you. And here's the interesting part. Until you get this set within yourself, it's not going to matter what anyone in the world says to you. The validation might feel good for a minute, but it's not going to make you believe it. Not till you believe it for yourself. So yeah, like I said, journaling, affirmations, meditations, communing with nature, just all of those things that get you super connected to spirit, because clearly spirit has an inside track into how much you're worth. And spirit says you're magical, and spirit says you're sacred, and spirit says you shine bright. So I think that's the number one thing you've got to do, pile one. Get connected to spirit. And spirit will start to show you how they see you. And it's pretty freaking awesome. Alrighty, so that is what I have for you, pile one. If this resonated, I would love it if you would like, subscribe if you want to see more readings like this, comment down below. I absolutely love reading and responding to everybody's comments. It's my favorite part. Also, you can contact me for a personal reading. All of the information is at my website, bluebirdandbtarot.com. And yes, I absolutely hope that this did resonate, because you are awesome and you should know it. And I want to wrap up by letting you know that you are loved, you are worthy, and you are enough. You really are, pile one. You are enough. Bye. Hello, pile two. If you chose the strength card, then you have arrived at your reading. So yes, let's find out what question is going to be addressed in this reading today. What does spirit need you to know? Okay, what is unfolding, or what am I currently manifesting in my life? Alrighty, let's tap in. Okay, spirit, tap me into the energy of what is unfolding for pile two, or what are they currently manifesting in their life? What is unfolding for pile two, or what are they currently manifesting, please? Okay, pile two, this is very exciting. I think that you are manifesting a creative pursuit. I think so. Yeah, with this book card, maybe you're actually a writer. Maybe you are working on a book, or maybe you're a musician. Maybe you're a visual artist. Yeah, maybe you're not a traditional artist. Maybe you're starting some sort of side hustle or some sort of social media platform or something. But all of that takes, a lot of artistic vision as well. But yeah, you are really working to manifest your vision into 3D reality. You are having to dig very deep to do this. It is freaking scary. And life is coming in and trying to interrupt you at any given moment. Life is the equivalent of a toddler tugging on your sleeve going, mom, 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 mom. Maybe even your life distraction is kids. You are trying to balance the demands of home life and the demands of your artistic pursuit. But I feel like you are going to prevail. Because yes, I feel like, first of all, you have it in you. You have it in you to dig deep. And yeah, I feel like there is also this with how she's about to walk into this book. I feel like there is this idea that you kind of live inside your art. I feel like it is constantly going like a low hum in the back of your mind all the time. I feel like you can't escape it. I feel like, yeah, your subconscious is doing art even when you're not doing art, if that makes sense. Also, with this love, art, and beauty, I feel like you do feel this kind of soul mandate to bring beauty into the world. Notice how this fear and distraction, they're both very dark cards. They both have this like gray brown color palette, and they are both very overwhelming. Like these vines look like they are going to overtake you, wrap around your limbs, pull you down. She is huddled in fear. It looks like this tornado is about to pick her up. And I feel like you have a real calling I feel like you are very well versed in what those feelings are. And I feel like this art is the way that you have found your way out of them. And I feel like you look at it as your kind of sacred responsibility to use your art to reach out to other people who are going through similarly dark, scary times in their life and give them something light and bright. Look at on this France card, Love, Art, and Beauty. Look at this beautiful pink color palette. Look at the bright white pages on this book. Look at the sparkles in the water on this well card. Yeah, you have been called, pile two, to use your gift of light to fight the darkness. And that is a sacred calling. But it doesn't mean that it's going to be easy. And in fact, it probably means that it's going to be harder. Because fear and distractions will work even harder to tear you down, because there is a constant battle going on in the world between the balance of light and darkness. And of course, light will always come out victorious. In the hugest, most pitch black room, the tiniest spark of light can be seen all the way from the other side. The most gargantuan amount of darkness can never overcome even the tiniest spark of light. Light is so much more powerful than darkness. But that doesn't mean that it's easy to light that spark. That doesn't mean that whoever lit that spark didn't face obstacles. And I feel like you are facing obstacles, but I feel like you are destined to win, pile two. You are destined to win because you have a sacred calling. Yeah, look at how the colors on this Chariot card really just match with the colors on this book card. And look how their dresses kind of even look the same. Yeah, you really might be a writer, pile two. And you also might really be a mom as well. Okay, so this is really interesting because I feel like these first two cards Okay, so what I'm going to talk about toward the end of this reading is how, like, connecting with other people who really feel your soul on this artistic level, who understand your calling, who have similar callings themselves, is going to be something that is very healing and is very motivating and really helps your light to shine brighter. And then as soon as I started to talk, I actually like settled back into my chair and like pulled my leg up to cross it, like we're girlfriends settling in for a chat. And I think that's really cute because I don't know if you ever watched that old show, Girlfriends, but the theme song from that show played through my mind when this card hit the board. And so I feel like this might really be, like, obviously it's not necessarily 100% women watching this show, but if you are, like, the power of female spirits combining to accomplish a goal, like the power of women supporting women, that is extremely, that is just extremely combustible, for lack of a better word. Like it's, combustible, steam combustion. It drives the train forward. I actually think that is a good word for it. But yeah, and I mean, honestly, even for men watching this pile, when you are involved in an artistic pursuit that is largely feminine energy, like we all have masculine and feminine energy within us. So yeah, connecting with those similar artistic energies with other people. But yeah, I do think it's interesting how the first two cards of this reading sort of set up the same basic conflict that was set up in the Oracle cards. Is you want to move forward on your artistic pursuit, but there are all of these, like the demands of everyday living are getting in the way. And the thing that is so difficult to reconcile about that is that, of course, like creating a happy home, creating a safe and comfortable home, whether that's for yourself, for a family, for extended family, for friends, whatever your situation is. Like, of course, that is also a sacred calling. But again, and sorry guys, I'm going to talk to the ladies for a second here. Like, women are so socialized in our society that that's our only calling. Or that if we have entered into that calling, if we do have, a spouse, children who depend on us, then that must, then our to devote any time to our creative pursuits is basically time that we're stealing. That's time that our family deserves and we're stealing it. Like, guys don't honestly face that same kind of pressure. They face entirely different pressures. I'm not saying they don't face pressures, but they don't face the exact same one that I'm talking about. So I feel like that's a real conundrum that you need to settle within yourself and understand that, your partner making dinner 3 times a week, even if it is like peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, so that you can have an hour and a half by yourself to write, it's not the end of the world. It's really not, I swear to God. And honestly, like, that might be kind of good for your kids to see that, the idea that you're human, that you have something inside you to say, that, you're not the only person in the house that can make them a peanut butter and jelly. And I don't know. I feel like I even feel uncomfortable saying this because I feel like it's speaking so against the social mores. Like, I almost feel like I'm saying something very taboo to be like, it's actually okay to take 3 hours a week to write. It's okay to take 3 hours a week and let your partner, take over some of the caretaking duties so that you can pursue your artistic vision. Like, that feels very controversial. Do you know what I mean? And I mean, it honestly shouldn't. That's the thing. It honestly shouldn't. But I think that that's something that you need to come to peace with within yourself and like figure out a system that resonates with you. That, yeah, maybe if you don't feel comfortable, like, quote unquote, taking time away, like maybe if you get up a little bit earlier, maybe if you take half of your lunch out, like whatever makes sense to you. But I think the important thing with this Knight of Arrows is forward motion. It's forward motion. It is 100% forward motion. And I think this is where connecting with a group of like-minded people is going to give you a lot of spiritual support. It's going to give you a lot of spiritual motivation and artistic motivation. And not for nothing, but a lot of practical ideas about how to carve out time for your art. But here with this Ace of Cups, I think that is so interesting because you do have a calling of love and of light. And pouring out this energy of love into the world so that other people can experience the kind of love and healing that you yourself have experienced, that you can show them that they don't have to exist in this dark, gray, brown world of fear and like scary vines that are going to pull you down, that there is light, that there is love, that there is stability. That is your calling. That is 100% one of, not your only calling, clearly, but one of the reasons that you incarnated into this 3D reality. It absolutely is, pile 2. So yeah, let's figure it out. Gotta figure it out. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to pull some cards that are energies that Spirit feels like it would be useful for you to intentionally embody. I am abundant. Yes. The thing that I think is interesting about abundance is it's the idea of having more than enough. And people think of abundance as obviously financial primarily. That's the way that it's used most often in the zeitgeist. But it's really about anything. Abundant love, abundant time. I feel like time is a big thing for you. So yeah, I think existing in this energy that there is more than enough. I'm looking for time in my schedule. Just approach it with the idea that there is more than enough. I just need to find it. I need motivation or inspiration. Approach it with the idea that there's more than enough. I just need to find it. I reveal my truth. Oh my gosh. Yes. Can you think of a better, like, one sentence elevator pitch of what it means to be an artist? Yeah, I reveal my truth. You maybe even thinking of yourself as an artist is part of the issue here, pile 2. Putting that label on. I am a writer. I am a musician. I am a songwriter. I am a painter. I am a healer. Why did I feel led to say all of the I am a this, I am a this, I am a this? So yeah, maybe your artistic pursuit is you are a Reiki healer, or maybe you're a tarot reader. Yeah, it's something. I think that there is a block when it comes to saying I am a this thing. So maybe just practice saying that when you're alone. Yeah, maybe you are a tarot reader, pile 2, because with that book, I said, I had said, well, maybe you are a writer, like with this book, but that could just as easily be interpreted as you are a reader. You know, a book could be you're a reader as well. It's a little spirit pun work there. Okay, yeah, with blend in, this is 100% that Three of Cups energy. You need to find like-minded people and spend time with them. And that, I think, is also how you're going to start to form your identity of, yes, I am one of these people. I am part of this group. With Be Direct, yeah, in order to carve out time for this, there might need to be some blunt conversations with people who are going to have to pick up some of your workload, your domestic workload. And Rise Again. Yeah, okay, so I just heard the chorus of that Andra Day song, Rise Up, that says, I'll rise up, I'll rise unafraid. Yeah, and fear was one of the cards that we got, one of the blocks. So I'll rise up, I'll rise unafraid, I'll rise up, I'll rise like the day. I'll rise up and I'll do it 1,000 times again. So yeah, consistency is part of being an artist. You can't just go in and write one day and be like, wow, I really did it. Like, no, it takes a year of going in and writing every day. It takes 10 years. It takes an artistic pursuit is not a one-time shot. An artistic pursuit is a lifestyle. Okay, seek counsel, ask for help, or pray about it. Yeah, I think ask for help is probably the thing that is going on here because, yeah, with this Queen of Pentacles energy, I have a feeling you're kind of doing it all yourself, pile 2. Release your assumptions. They are clouding your ability to see clearly. Yeah, I think your main assumption would be that you have to do everything you're doing now and add this into your schedule. No, that's not how we're living out here in the year 2023. No, we are balancing. We are balancing, and other people are helping and balancing and doing their fair share. So yeah. Let this also teach you. Yeah, okay, that's another thing too, is don't get discouraged if you are not like the best at on day one. Artistic pursuits are also a learning curve. You know, if everybody was like a master at their craft on day one of trying it, there would be no such thing as the Eight of Pentacles card. And then breathe deeply and let it go. Yeah, I think that is another really important aspect, is that you have to think it's not that serious. It's also supposed to be fun. Any artistic pursuit is supposed to also be fun. You're also supposed to get that thrill of discovery and that thrill of creation from it. And if you're taking it so seriously, and you're putting so much pressure on yourself, then it's actually impossible to get that. Yeah, but you have, in conclusion, amazing things to offer the world, pile 2, and the world is waiting. Yeah, so I think don't put too much pressure on yourself, but don't hesitate to put a little, because we need what you have to offer, pile 2. We really do. We need it. Okay, so that is what I have for you. I hope that it resonated. And yeah, if it did, I would love it if you would subscribe, comment down below. Tell me a little bit about your situation and how it resonated. I love getting your guys' comments and responding to them. That's my favorite. I'm also available for private readings. All the information is on my website, bluebirdandbtarot.com. And I want to wrap up by letting you know that you are loved, you are worthy, and you are enough. Okay, bye. Hello, pile 3. If you chose this card, the Liberation card, then you have arrived at your reading. So let's find out what question we are going to be answering today. What does Spirit need you to know right now? What urgent message does Spirit need you to know right now? What skills should I develop or leverage to move forward in my career or mission? All right, let's find out. I'm interested. Okay, Spirit, tap me into the energy of what skills should pile 3 develop or leverage to move forward in their career or mission, please? What skills should pile 3 leverage to move forward in their career or mission? Okay, pile 3. So I think that what you need to develop, or like the card says, or leverage, this may also be a strength that you already have, but you're not putting it to use as well as you could. So this is either something that you need to deepen and develop this skill, or you have this skill and you actually need to put it to use. Is I think the ability to see things clearly, even when everything around you is chaos. Like, you know, those people that they say, you know, oh, so-and-so's great in a crisis. They keep a cool head in a crisis. I think that's you. And actually, I'm just going to speak to you as if this is a skill you already have that you need to leverage, because I think that you either already have it or you have the potential to have it, and Spirit is saying develop it. So I want to speak to you as if that has already come to fruition. So yeah, I think that having a cool head in a crisis and taking a leadership role in a crisis is something that you have that really makes you stand out from the pack. I think that your clarity of mind, first and foremost, comes from the fact that you see the situation as a whole. This card says flight. These birds are flying. There's even a phrase that goes along with that, seeing things from a bird's eye view. And then you can see this bear, like these butterflies are flying away. So yeah, I also think with this bear, the idea that you need to be very protective of this ability. So I would look at that as making sure that you are in, I was going to say peak physical condition, like that's anything that anyone can like just achieve on the daily. But yeah, I think things that make you feel good, things that make you feel clear-headed, getting plenty of rest, you know, eating in a way that makes you feel on top of your game. Moving your body, just things that make you feel capable, things that make you feel on top of it. You know, work time into your schedule on a regular basis to engage in those activities. But I also think with this bear card, this is the idea that people look to you as a leader and a protector. When everything around you is in upheaval, people sense from you a very calm energy. And I think that that makes them feel like everything's going to be okay. I gotta actually grab a drink of water real quick. My mouth just got so dry. Which I definitely think ties into the idea that this might be a natural proclivity that you have, that people look to you for leadership in a crisis, but you shy away from it. Maybe you don't want the responsibility. Yeah, maybe you don't want to be responsible for other people's well-being. You'd rather just, you know, keep your circle of responsibility small and limited to yourself so that there's no repercussions. But yeah, this is a gifting you have. This is something that you can bring to the world to make other people's lives better. Yeah, and if the idea of being responsible for others is something that really freaks you out, maybe there's a way to kind of start down this path without so much like one-on-one interaction. Like maybe this is something where you can get your ideas out there via blog, podcast, social media. Other people can benefit from this natural skill that you have without you having to actually show up at their crisis and take control. Because yeah, I don't necessarily think it is that you are like, all right, there's a new sheriff in town. I'm going to tell you exactly what to do. I think it's more your ability to remain clear-headed and see the path forward. That's your true skill. So yeah, that's something like what the path forward is something that you can relate without having to like fully jump in and assume new sheriff responsibilities. Yeah, because with this flight card, I definitely get that the idea of being in control makes you want to fly away a bit. And these butterflies are also flying away. Yeah, I think you like your life to be a little bit more calm. Yeah, I don't think you want to be involved in other people's dramas, but I do think that you can see pretty clearly how they could solve them. Yeah, so let's see. Yeah, so if this is a career energy, then you may be sitting in meetings just seeing with absolute crystal clear clarity how the issue that people are going back and forth for hours about how to solve it. You may be able to see the solution within 2 seconds, but you don't want to speak up because you don't want to be put in charge of implementing that solution. Understandable. I've been in my fair share of corporate meetings. I get it, pile 3. That could definitely happen. But I do feel like finding a way to at least bring this skill to the table somehow. That's the task that you are faced with. Because this is a rare skill, pile 3. And I don't think you've ever thought of it that way, because I think that the path forward presents itself to you fully formed as if it's very obvious. But I think that you've probably sat in enough meetings to know that it is not. It is not obvious to the rest of the world. So yeah, I think that is the balance that you're going to have to find a way to achieve in the future is, how do I put this skill to work without having a lot of responsibility piled on me that I am not comfortable with? Yeah, and with that 8 of Pentacles, I think that's going to be a real learning process. And there are probably going to be, some situations where you do get tasked with responsibilities that you're not comfortable with. I think this is going to be a learning process, but I think you're going to be so far ahead by the end of it. Yeah, so I do think with this 8 of Arrows coming out, which is the 8 of Swords, in a very central position, I do think that I think in the moment before you speak up, all the scenarios of all the ways it could backfire play through your head. Like, yeah, all the different arrows that could possibly hit you as a result of speaking up. And it keeps you tied. It keeps you bound. Oh, and I actually have a... Excuse me. Oh my gosh. I'm thirsty. I'm sneezing. I'm having physical reactions that I think I'm channeling from you, pile 3. It's just like my body is doing everything it can to keep me from speaking up and speaking out. But this also must be incredibly frustrating for you to be able to see something so clearly, but be so held back from expressing it. Yeah. And I do feel like with this King of Cups, I do feel like it's coming from a place of wanting to move the project forward or the organization forward. Like, I feel like it's coming from a benevolent place. It's definitely not coming from a place of arrogance, of wanting, it's definitely not coming from a place of wanting to be in control. That's the last thing you want, is to be in charge. But it's not coming from a place of wanting everyone to know you're right or wanting credit. It's genuinely coming from a place of wanting to be helpful, wanting to be useful. Yeah, and I also think with this Page of Cups, it's coming from a place of wanting to know how it would turn out. I think you have a genuine curiosity about the way that people interact, the way the world works, the way that your idea would play out in implementation. I feel almost like you have a scientist's curiosity about that. I feel like with this Knight of Pentacles, Spirit is saying the best way to move forward here, with the Eight of Pentacles starting off the spread and the Knight of Pentacles finishing it, is just to go slowly and learn as you go. Honestly, that's the only way we can really get into a new energy. There's two ways. We can go slowly and learn as we go, or we can jump into the deep end. And I feel like if jumping into the deep end is the option, we may as well just stop this reading here. It's never going to happen. But I feel like going slowly and learning as you go is something that you could handle. That's something you could wrap your mind around. I feel like it's still not going to be pleasant or comfortable or easy, but I do feel like it's going to be important, and I do feel like that is something that you can do, pile 3. Baby steps. That's the thing they always say, right? Baby steps. Baby steps are still forward steps. Okay, so these are some energies that Spirit is saying it would be useful to proactively embody. So I am safe. Yeah, absolutely. I think that it's really interesting to see the contrast of how this figure has herself wrapped up in her own arms and she feels safe, whereas this figure is wrapped up in this netting and completely spread out and vulnerable. It's a really fascinating contrast. I am blessed. Yeah, I think that is an important thing to keep in mind, pile 3, is this is a gift that you have. This is a gift that is innate. It's a gift you're meant to share with the world. It's a gift that was given to you by Spirit, not to sit in meetings and press down, but to use. And even if that's scary and even if it's uncomfortable, that is the purpose of you having this gift, is to use it, not to suppress it. And I am fearless. Okay. Yeah, even if that is not what your 3D reality is reflecting back to you at this moment, I think that that's an important thing to reflect to yourself deep down, is that you are afraid of nothing that might come of this. You are fearless. Get funky. Yeah, I interpret that card as meaning get outside your comfort zone. Get outside that comfort zone, pile 3. Give your all. Yeah, I feel like you are giving everything that you have to give except for this. This is the one thing that you're holding back, and it's the one thing that is so unique and precious that you have to offer. I think you might be afraid of drawing attention to yourself. I think that might be the other thing. But get used to it, pile 3. You are a bad bitch, and people are going to pay attention. And that is true whether you are a man or a woman. In quiet reflection will the answers come forth. Okay, yeah, absolutely. So maybe do some meditation. Or you know what could actually be really useful is do some mental rehearsal. The next time you're sitting in a meeting and you have the answer, you have the solution to this whole problem that everyone is so up in arms about, mentally rehearse speaking up. Mentally rehearse it. Maybe even rehearse it out loud in front of the mirror. Now's the time to rest and give yourself space to process. Yeah, I feel like maybe after, mentally and emotionally committing to doing this, you might need a nap. You might need a nap, pile 3, because this is going to be big. Yeah, this is going to be big for you. This is going to freak you out a bit. Yeah, trust yourself and listen to the voice within. Yeah, that voice within that's showing you the clear path forward for everyone to follow. Listen to it. But moreover, share it. That's the main thing. Share it. That is what Spirit is calling you to do, is share it. And I know that seems like the hardest thing, but that's what you were given this gift for, is to share it. All right. Well, I'm going to be sending you love and light, pile 3. Let me know how it works out. Come back to the video after you've taken action on this and let me know how it worked out. Okay, so that is what I have for you, pile 3. I hope that it resonated. And if it did, please subscribe if you want to see more readings like this. Comment down below. I love getting everybody's comments and responding to them. It's my favorite. And yeah, I am available for personal readings. All of the information is on my website, bluebirdandbtarot.com. But I am going to end this by letting you know that you are loved. You are worthy and you are enough. You really are. You are enough, pile 3. Okay, bye. Hello, everybody. So I'm going to go through the decks that were used today, if that's something that you are interested in. So this is the Questions Oracle by Intuit Tarot. Okay, this is the Seeds of Magic Tarot. The Beautiful Adventure Oracle. Midnight Oracle. The Bohemian Wild Lenormand. The Dreamer's Journey Oracle. The Journey Oracle. Okay, the Personal Power Oracle. The Airmail Oracle. Well, these cards are flipped all around. And Into the Mystic. Okay, thank you. I will see you next time, and I am going to end again by letting you know that you are loved. You are worthy and you are enough. Okay, bye.